Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I'm gonna set it up and then let it go.
Doug is our IT. Yeah, he's our IT. Invaluable. Very invaluable.
Not naturally loud.
Try not.
Where's the timer?
I do not know where the timer is.
Okay, so
Do you know where it is? I don't know, but I'll use my phone. I'll use my phone. I'll use my phone. I'll use my phone.
Yeah, that's what.
The last time you spoke. Don't worry about it. I'll use my phone. Oh.
I'll kind of keep an eye out from over there. If I see that it goes to like some of these users where there's just like a blank ball,
Okay.
I'll come over and fix it, but it should be
Oh,
okay.
you can see it from up there?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just see because everybody else is like black.
Yeah.
And now this is like the actual video screen, so I'll be able to see if it changes.
So I don't touch it.
So as long as it shows this is what everybody sees.
Okay.
So it should be okay.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Good evening, everybody. Can everybody stand for the pledge of allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to start by introducing our new solicitor, Mr. John J. Wills. And if some people know him, some don't, but he's our new solicitor. We want to say welcome. Thank you for coming and joining us.
Amen. Good evening.
Good evening.
I feel like I am truly among friends, and it is good to be back here in Morton Borough.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right. Roll call,
All right, Council President Bernice Clark Dickerson,
present.
Councilor Douglas Eager,
Here.
Councilor Beth Ann Johnson, Councilor
Present.
Michelle Miller,
Here.
Council Vice President Shantae Miller,
Here.
Councilor Michelle Roberts,
Present.
Councilor Walter Stubbs,
Here.
and Mayor Amanda Hammack.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, an executive session was held this evening at 6:30 PM to discuss personnel matters. Anyone who wishes to comment at council must sign in before 6:58 PM. Before the sign-up board comes in the council chamber, and each resident will be provided 3 minutes to give their comments. This is not a question and answer period or debate to go back and forth or to call out from the audience during the council meetings.
Thank you. We have no presentations tonight, so we'll go right into our public comment. Mr. Hess.
Bill Hefner, 571 South Old Middletown Road, Media, PA. I am largest taxpayer, at least I believe I am. I do have a question regarding the percentage, if I'm pronouncing it right, the consulting company. I'd like to know how many municipalities is the firm currently serving? How many references from other boroughs have we received? Have all the council members reviewed the percentage agreement for services? What is the scope of services they will be performing for the borough? And what accounting platform do they use? Also, is a contract based on flat rate for services per month or an hourly rate? If so, what is the cost for either the flat rate or the hourly rate? And how is the borough going to afford this contract?
Anything else?
So, am I going to get any answers or no?
Did you hear the comments you read? This is not answer the question. Period. It is not debate.
Well, it's not a debate. I was just looking for answers because it looks like you're going to do a vote on it later.
We're going to do a vote on it.
So I was just letting you know in advance
But the council has, every council member has the plan and the scope of work. We had all the municipality references, we had over 8 references for him, for the company. It is a firm, it's a flat fee,
And what is the fee?
$95 an hour.
$95 an hour?
fee.
And how many hours a week will they be
The borough
working
will
on?
decide that.
Pardon?
The borough will, yeah, the minimum is 20 up to 30.
Well, 30 hours a week would roughly run $148,000 a year. I was just curious how the borough's going to afford that, because we just recently had the Springfield ambulance added to the budget for $65,000, which is unbudgeted. I'm just concerned about the finances of the borough.
Thank you for that. You take your comments and concerns. Thank you. Mr. Lloyd-Pratt?
Charge of Lake Pratt, 114, just a couple of questions here, the thing that comes through
Can you talk a little louder, Mr.
Yeah, there's no mic there, so.
Charles Lillycraft, 114 Locust Road. 2 questions. Is there any update status on the swim school that they're going to put on 32 South Morton Avenue? Is that still in play?
It's still in place. Mr.
Okay.
Lloyd.
How about Alfredo's? Is that getting close to?
Are you talking about the property?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the
The
property?
new construction across from Wawa.
So that, as far as I know, that is not the Morton Borough.
They want-
Some of it is yesterday.
Some of it is, but part of it
It's
is
still
not.
All
in
those
place.
Morton-
But it is still, no, well, part of it falls into
Well,
really,
Ridley Township approved that. We did that.
right.
We did too.
You know, as-
But we have not gotten any updates or any plans on that.
Committee reports. Facilities, infrastructures, the fan. Johnson, Johnson.
If she's not here,
Oh,
so.
okay. Yeah, she's absent, so.
So I do believe, it should be attached to each member, council member's, packet here. You should have the letter in regards to the subdivision here.
And they asked for a station on their plan, so we'll be discussing that and voting on that.
Can you do one more? Gather some details of what they're talking about, because one of those buildings is a home, and the other one is sort of like an apartment building.
So we don't, which is why they're asking for the extension. They have not provided us with the
Oh,
details.
okay.
Yeah. So that's what we are requesting from them. So they're asking for the extension so that they're
Thank you.
able to provide that. Yeah.
Okay, finance and administration. Anybody else have questions for you? Do we move right into finance and administration? The discussion is to talk about the consulting firm, and we will have a vote on it. And also we'll be talking about the change in staff in the borough, okay? So, it's open. Whatever we want to talk about. Everybody's gonna set with Percentage, we're looking to move Percentage starting here, giving the full coverage of the borough, managing all management of the borough and finances. They have worked in several borough or municipalities throughout the whole county. We have over, as I said earlier, 8 references, really 10, and they're highly respected and regarded. I have the information that I put out, if anybody wants to look at it. Excuse me. And the recommendation are nonstop, by phone and the recommendations. And there are the staff that are clean up, I think, because we keep finding different things going on that we didn't know about, and it's happening. And we're having them to come in instead of us, that we have a manager, each manager we hire had good parts, good things we recognize and know that we're trying to do. But we want some of the experts at doing this, and that's what we're looking to do. And based on that, by them covering everything, the finances are covered because we're looking at what we paid our finance director and our managers. It's the same thing, just $15 extra. So we have the funding is there. Anybody else?
So that
I
answers.
do have a couple of questions. For one thing, never saw, and I've never been involved with interviewing, or we never saw resumes from them. There was one letter about the business, but there was nothing about the individuals, so.
Okay.
What
Good,
we
answer
were
questions,
told,
we're going to address, because that's not true.
That's not true, Michelle. You
You
have
said in
provided
every interview, you got the resume,
no.
you got their scope of work,
there
what
was
they do.
no paper resume given on any of those gentlemen.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Hold on one sec, hold on one sec. You were not the only person involved in these interviews, so there's other council members that were involved.
I'm talking
So
about
let's
myself,
just-
I'm not talking about the rest of
We're
the
talking
council.
about you were involved.
But you didn't go to your mailbox, you didn't,
She got it. She got it.
I did not get an individual resume.
You got their scope of what we can do.
yes,
They
council,
what they talked about you.
That's
You
right.
told you so.
That's
That
right,
is
but,
that, Michelle.
but.
Council Egar, did you
If I may
receive a
finish-
resume?
May I finish my statement, please, my question? I said that I have never been involved with interviewing where I've never seen a resume from the person. That was what I said, and that's still true with this. Second of all, there's, to explain to the public maybe a little bit better that we are getting a borough manager, and then there'll be another employee from there that will be doing, like, I guess you would say, the CFO sort of work. But it's a group effort. To me, it's a little confusing trying to figure out who's going to be doing what, and but I guess we'll just see how it works, and hopefully with all their various expertise, it'll work together. But I just want to make those comments that,
Thank you, Michelle.
to see that, still don't really know, the individual backgrounds except for what was said to us, but nothing in writing.
Okay, so one thing, let's just start with this. It is the job of the Finance and Administration Chair to start the process on any interview process, okay? So we start there. With that, we then include the rest of council once we have gotten the applicants, okay? We weed out her resume. Then we bring together any member of council who chooses to attend. You are not obligated, nor are you, it's just something that we have offered, okay? There's that. Michelle, you're speaking, at least from where I stand, maybe coming off of being the president and overseeing. No, as you asked before, you said, let me finish. We have provided, with every interview that you have ever been a part of, we have provided you with substantial information per each applicant. So to say that you've never had a resume is false. You're not, let me finish, because I don't need to go on for hours or minutes with this. When we are up here and we're speaking about these things, we have to be truthful, especially when we are referencing people that we are going to hire. That is not true to say that you've never received a resume. This is the same one that you received. Now, I won't speak for anyone else on council, but you're not the only one that has been involved in this interview process, which is why I referenced Councilman Egar, because you also were a part of it. Did you receive a resume prior to being a part of the interview process? And you're not the only one that I'm going to reference, because I am going to speak to Councilwoman Roberts as well.
Yes, I did. I
A
have,
resume or just a letter from the company?
I don't have one, but it was, I received the paperwork, and, I can only give my 2 cents on
That's all I'm asking.
hiring is, so since I've been here, we've been through 4 and maybe more borough managers. That's not a good track record. What we've been doing is clearly not working. So when they initially came in, I was like, we're not used to having a hand-me-off type environment. We need somebody sitting here. And I was going to be against it. But then I went home, and the more I thought about it, I said, you know what, actually, maybe this could work. There is going to be somebody that's positioned here. But they've also got resources on the outside. They're a team, and if they need to get something done, they can bounce it back off each other. It was a model that at first I didn't think was going to work, but the more I think about it, I'm for it. So I met them. We even had them come back because one of the people couldn't make it. So now we've met them twice. They seem nice. They seem like they know what they're doing. We were able to ask them any questions that we wanted. They were transparent. They seemed, ready to get to work. And they have worked with many other municipalities, so.
Thank you.
That's my
Yeah.
opinion.
And Mrs. Roberts, I know you did not make it to the second one, but you were part of the first interview
Right. I
process.
made it to the second interview, I believe. I didn't make it to the one.
I think you were here at the first, but not the second one.
The second one, I
Yes.
didn't make it with the gentleman. But me as well, I was a little bit concerned because we've never had a firm. But I did call around myself, and I did speak with different municipalities, and they did give me highly recommendations concerning this firm. Once again, this is new to us. This might be something that can put us on a better track. Like I said, we've been experiencing many managers, not saying that they weren't good, but here's an opportunity. Once again, when I called out to those municipalities, they say they were able to bring things to their community that, once again, we want to enhance Morton. We want to improve
Yes.
Morton. So this is an opportunity, and I can only say, if it doesn't work, we'll do it again.
So that's why I asked, and we can leave it here. I just want us to make sure that we are being very honest, not just for us as council members here, but also the residents when we make comments about not receiving information or resumes about the people that we're gonna vote on. Because we wanna be honest for ourselves first, but the residents as well. And that's it. That's all I wanna make clear here.
And also, there are 7 people on council who will be voting on this. It's not up to a committee, so I guess, we all have the right to speak about, the hiring and everything, because we represent all the people, and please remember that. Thank you.
Councilwoman, no, we know it's up to the council. Again, the committee is the first group, we did that. Let me talk. Now, what's happened is that our councilwoman, Chantel Miller stated, we fully included everybody in the parts of it. You attended both interviews. You attended everything that's been going on. Everybody has a vote. That's it. That's what we do. And we go from here. As again, we look to move forward. We're not going behind anymore. The changes that are occurring, we're trying to move Morton Borough way up into the world that they need to be. And what needs to be done is being done at this point in time. So we thank you for that.
If I may, I was included as well in all of the ones that passed out of committee. I do not know and did not know them prior to having met them, but much like Councilwoman Roberts, I did my own research. I went and I spoke with the municipalities because we had email and paper copies of who they had worked with in their resume. It doesn't necessarily perhaps look like a resume that you're used to, but it is a resume, it does state it. And I made my own calls. And it backs up, I mean, we're all sitting here with a multi-page set of papers of not only municipal recommendations, police department recommendations. I mean, this group has recommendations across the board. One of the things, as many people have stated up here, that I actually like about having a firm, if you will, is that they have individual specialities. And I think that when we look at the uniqueness of a manager of a municipality, of a governing body, there's so many multifaceted portions of it, right? You have your grants, which we all want. We want all the grants with no matching things whatsoever. You have your day-to-day tasks. You have the financial, you have all of these parts, and these individuals, each one that we spoke to, are good and skilled and professional in each of these lanes, if you will, that are all on a highway. And I can't think of anything better than having highly skilled individuals in those lanes that all kind of come bundled together as one, working for us. And like I said, I made the independent calls. There wasn't a bad word said about them. I don't know them. I did know them when I met them. I thought that they were fantastic. The amount of money that they have brought back in grants alone to their municipalities. I think One of the gentlemen, Joe mentioned 4.3 million to Darby, unmatched. And so when you look at things like that, and where we have our needs, I think that this, this makes sense. And as, I forget which person said it up here, and if it doesn't work, it's not the first time we've been in the position, so.
So you gotta take a chance on her. Thank you.
Thank you again for allowing everybody to.
Madam President, for whatever probative value it may have, I have had the privilege and the pleasure of working with Pizzeni Consulting in 3 different municipalities here in Delaware County. I can say he has an excellent reputation. He is well-known in the Delaware County municipal circles, and I think he will certainly be a plus here for Morton Borough. Again, the proposed agreement that we have with Pizzeni Consulting is only for a very short period for duration. Basically, it is for 4.5 months. This particular professional services agreement would take us until January the 5th of 2026, at which time the entire professional staff of Morton Borough, again, will be subject to either a reappointment or termination. Again, as a professional, whether it be the borough engineer, the borough solicitor, the engineer, the auditor, we serve at the pleasure of Borough Council. We can be terminated at any time and for any reason or for no reason at all.
Thank you. And we didn't even ask for a reference. But if you're looking, I forgot to put this out. Here's all the references. And we had the job description and the scope of work. But I'll put that out there so the council, committee will have it. But moving forward, if anybody has anything else?
No, I'm good on that one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Next is the changeover in staff and the borough hall in regards to moving we're moving and change over the staff, and we talked about our executive session. We talked about it here. Open it up for discussion. We're looking to move Marty to part-time, our borough secretary, and bring Anne Marie Jones up to full-time status. So the floor is open to council.
I don't have anything. I feel like it's kind of been like leading. You've been kind of trying to transition to that for a while. So I think we also had to make sure we had somebody that could follow through, and we have Emery, so.
And
Yeah,
this
I think,
was, I want
sorry.
to say, it was highly recommended by Marty. Okay. So everybody
Thank you for
understands
saying
that.
that.
Yeah,
It was highly recommended by
Yeah, I was just
Marty.
gonna say, I know Marty, you brought this up to council, before, and I'm just glad that I'm able to be here so that we can work that out while I'm here.
yeah, for sure.
And if I could second that motion to Marty, since this is your decision, I believe that we will be pleasurable and see things your way.
Nice.
We could move.
Questions about the winning power.
Gotta be honest.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. That ends my committee report, and we'll discuss it again. Those two things will be coming up for the vote. So we're moving right on to public safety, sorry.
Thank you. I don't really have anything except for one thing. I think we're all aware of the tragic events of the 2 young ladies that were on their scooters in Aston. One of the young ladies lost her life. the other little girl is recovering. With that, I want to say a month ago, I had a discussion with the chief in regards to some things I had seen just in the area about the safety of the scooters. And he had reached out to the Delaware County Transportation Management Association. And they had something set up where they did not end up coming here, but they were at, I believe it was Scenic or Sabled Rec, the recreation that they have in the summer. And they provided free helmets and just safety training to the kids. I mean, I'm sure it's no surprise you see these kids on scooters, electric bikes, and they do not have helmets. So I just wanted to give him a shout out, and the rest of the police force just kind of making that happen. I thought that was great, and they were able to get that together very quickly. I can tell you that my kids definitely did get helmets, and they are wearing them because they do own the electric scooters and bikes. And they do wear them faithfully. So I would just say to everyone, whether you have kids, but if you have kids, grandkids out here on these bikes, and even to each other, just be mindful of them being on the road. And if you see a kid, I come from old school, like stop them, hey, where's your helmet? Because, you know, we're trying to save a life. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened this summer. So I just wanted to mention that. Other than that, that's all I have this evening for public safety.
Any questions? Thank you. Next, we have public health sanitation and recycling. Yes, good evening, everyone. Just yesterday evening, we did have a meeting, and the meeting was very much engaging. We thank those that did come and participate. But out of the meeting, under public health, there is a coordinator that I have reached out to, and she is working with mental health. I reached out to her again today, and she has confirmed that she will be here on August the 21st for the Morton Summer Social. So she will be advocating a table with making awareness concerning mental health. So I just wanted to share that with you, Mayor Hammond, that she has committed to be here.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Great job.
So other than that, like I said, the meeting was productive. I thank all those who participated. Continue to bring in your recycles. Continue to obey the guidelines, no plastic bags. Break down your boxes. Please do not discard any of your material outside of the container. And continue to remember that your 2-day trash pickup on Mondays and Thursdays. Trash doesn't go out except prior to dusk. It does not go on the weekend if you go away. Ask a neighbor to kindly pull your trash. Also, just be mindful of your containers. And also, will be a code violation for those that do not adhere to this. Code enforcement will be making routine checks. So you may notice that you'll get a yellow door knocker on your doors, letting you know that there has been a violation. So we just want people to be informed and to comply to these things these standards for our community. Yes, I did say no plastic bags,
Yes, please.
of no kind, and no trash in the containers as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you. Next, we will have law and ordinance.
Then, we met last night for the committee meetings, and we discussed the truck ordinance. And I just had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Wills. He had a couple of, actually, I refer to them as typographical errors, which I will forward to the council and to the committee, things that he saw that he thought we should add in. Just little things of putting, not just the chief of police, but the whole police department should have the authority, for instance, to issue a ticket. And one thing that I am particularly fond of, Mr. Wills, is that the violations, to note that it was only $25, and he suggested we up it to $300. Of course, we like that, in case there is a violation to actually collect at least a little bit of money. But anyway, I will forward that to everybody. He is looking over the B&B, the B&B Airbnb ordinance. We had a couple of questions. I will forward them to him. One question that was brought up about those short-term rentals was whether or not somebody could use that as a way of getting into the Springfield School District. That the answer is no, because you have to have a year lease. It has to be signed by the landlord, it has to be provided to the school district, along with utility bills and some other things, so there is no fear of that. So, the truck ordinance should be ready to go at the next meeting, and, the DMV, unless Mr. Wills has something extraordinary on that, then perhaps we can have that in next, meeting to be advertised, to have it advertised. And if anyone has any other questions?
Yeah, can you just elaborate, what's the cost, you said 25 to 300?
Quote, any person violating any of the provisions of this article shall, upon conviction thereof, pay a fine of not less than $25, not greater than 600. We're gonna change the 25 to 300.
The $25 fine, I believe, would not be a sufficient deterrent for some of our larger trucking companies. They may simply look at that as a cost of doing business. So we want to make sure that the proposed fine is such that it serves as a sufficient deterrent to avoid the residential streets that are being prohibited on the proposed trucking ordinance.
Thank you for clarifying. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. We have community economic development.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Nothing tonight, just a quick reminder that we do have the Morton blood drive on September 16th. That's going to be here in the Borough Hall in the gym from 2 to 7 p.m. So please check it out. There's information on the Morton Facebook site as well as the webpage, so you can check it out. You can also just go to the Red Cross blood drive page, type in Morton, it'll come up. It's the only one that we have this year. So please do, if you're not going to do it, please recommend it to other people. There are a few spots left, well, there's some spots left. So please take advantage of that and sign up if you can. Ms. Todd, I hope you will speak on some events that are coming from the fire department, so welcome that. And that's really all I have tonight. Does anybody have any events that they would like to push from the council?
I'll just speak on, I know the Morton Social is coming up that the police department is having. I believe that's on the 21st of this month.
We are at 14 trucks for the touch truck
Yeah, the touch
portion
truck
of it.
portion.
Yeah, Chief just updated. We may even have a street sweeper this year.
We have the hours for that, Mayor?
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
And that's it for me. Thank you.
And anybody wanted to do blood drive to register, right, first?
Yes, yeah, you need to go through the Red Cross website and you'll register. There's a bunch of questions that they'll ask you. Make sure that you're, okay to sign up and things like that. So, but they're very, very friendly and more than willing to help out to get you go. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, we have Parks and Recreation.
Good evening.
Good evening.
MVPs, human beings being human. Davis Park update. Landscaping and tree service was awarded. Continued completion of tree removal at 19,000. Council voted on Wednesday, the 23rd. We will begin on the second week in September. Once done, we will work on the playground equipment. I would like to hear from the children through their parents, or through their parents to the children, what apparatuses they would like to see in Jacobs Park, other than what's there now. If there's new apparatuses, let us know. Let me know. The community has dance activity on Saturday at 12 p.m. from 12 a.m. in the gym. 2 steps, bop, cha-cha, etc. Class is held every Friday at 6 unless gym is scheduled to be rented out. Looking to welcome back to the school day game or night September. I don't understand that completely. If anybody knows exactly what
Yeah,
September,
I'll add on that.
I'd like to hear from you.
Okay, we're looking at a special date. that we do it all out, back to school, and have it all on game day, or game night, that we want to set up there for the youth and the adults here in the, gym. But we have to, come up with the actual date to do that. We're looking at sometime by the end of September, beginning of October to do that. That we're just gonna have a fun day. Bring everybody, we'll set our corners up with different games and everything. We'll get up for our children and adults.
Thank you. Any questions? Any donations?
You was gonna slip it in there some way, somehow.
God bless, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have our mayor's report.
So I'll be brief. Just to touch back with the summer social, as I mentioned, as of right now, we have about 14 trucks, apparatuses, various types. If you were here last year, it ranged from, I know I'm gonna get it wrong, 57 Chevy, I think that beautiful car was, from the Cipollone family, to Army vehicles, to our police vehicles, all sorts of different things. We will also have resource tables. We will have Veterans Affairs. We have our state and our state representatives, both Rep. O'Mara and Senator Carney. We have the VMSC, Swarthmore, Springfield ambulance. The portion of VMSC is actually bringing a mobile unit where they will be able to do quick health wellness checks, so like blood pressure, so forth and so on. And there's a ton of others. There will also be food. If you've been there, it's no different than our national night outs have been. And I keep saying this. This is in place of our national night out because we realized very quickly after the first 2 years of running them that we were fighting for resources because everybody does national night out on national night out day. And so we realized if we just moved it, up a bit, we would have the same, shot at having all these resources here to serve the public. So please come out. It is a fun time. You'll have, at least some food. And I'll save the fire company ones, but I want to go back to the helmets. In fact, the woman that gave that presentation will be there as well. And I believe have helmets as well. I know I have children. I was a child, believe it or not, once upon a time. I know how difficult it is to tell your child, put a helmet on and have them go out the door, and you pray that they keep it on their head. But I have found having the conversation, at least with my own, in an age-appropriate way about the consequences and referencing the accidents that have occurred. Again, in an age, you know your child, you know how you can deliver that message. That gives them real meaning to put the helmet on kind of conversation. It's absolutely tragic. It is completely and totally tragic for what has gone on. So please, I was, when we left last night, actually, there were tons of kids out still at that hour from the committee meetings. And I was very pleasantly surprised as I made my way back out that every kid that I saw on something had a helmet on. I actually was really surprised because I know that there has been plenty of times I've seen them without that. And I do think your sentiment is true as well. You don't have to yell at them, but you could be like, yo, guys, where's your helmet? And make that, a conversation to have with them. And I do think that the chief, I'll sing that praise again as well, being able to put that together and being able to have the access to the school where, necessarily here wouldn't have had as much traction was brilliant. So thank you to him and his officers. But other than that, hopefully we can get through quick enough so we all don't get drenched again out there. That's all I have.
Any questions for me?
No winning Powerball numbers.
And no dunk time.
No dunk tank. No. Sorry to disappoint.
All right, thank you. Are we moving into our action items?
Very well, thank you very much, Madam President. We have several action items for Borough Council's consideration this evening. If it is the pleasure of Borough Council, a motion would be in order to promote Anne Marie Jones to the position of full-time Borough Secretary effective October the 1st of 2025. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries.
Second action item, if it is the pleasure of Borough Council, a motion would be in order to appoint Martha Preston to the position of part-time Assistant Borough Secretary to work the hours of 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on the days of Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Again, effective October the 1st of 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Third action item, if it is the pleasure of Borough Council, a motion would be in order to appoint or to hire Pizzeni Consulting Firm to serve as Borough Manager for the period covering August 18th of 2025 until January the 5th of 2026, which happens to be Borough Council's reorganization meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Finally, Borough Council has received correspondence from the engineer for the reverse subdivision and subdivision application for 103-111 Yale Avenue. This is the Henderson reverse subdivision application. The engineer is requiring additional time for Borough Council to render a decision on this application. As council is aware, it has 90 days from the date of the first planning commission meeting under the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code in which to render a decision. And again, the applicant is requesting an extension of time to the borough to render a decision until, I believe it is November the 15th of 2025. And so if it's the pleasure of Borough Council, a motion would be in order.
So moved.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries.
And they are the only action item on the advertised Borough Council agenda meeting for this evening.
Thank you, sir. Okay, moving on, we see in the agenda the upcoming meetings and everything. I just want to make a little note here. I'm reminding everybody, and I apologize because it wasn't on the agenda for committee meetings last night, but all committee meetings will commence without delay once the preceding meeting has adjourned. So you'll see the times for the committees, but our committee meetings aren't going an hour and a half. We're commencing all committees right after the first one adjourns. So we're asking you to be here on time for that first committee meeting because we're ready to move right up into the next one. All right. We hope to see everybody at the social. We hope to see everybody who wants to come and learn the cha-cha, two-step, and the bop like we. That's on Fridays nights, and we have a group coming in Friday from 5 to 7. Then Saturday we have the line dance. All right. Yeah. All right.
Can I just direct this, the council vice president, Shante Miller. The signs that are posted on our streets about stop and roll, are those signs going to hit all the streets or just?
Sorry, I'm not to take up because I got asked last night. You go ahead.
Go ahead.
They're rolling out as fast as they can get them up. So they should be,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
And
thank you.
Yeah, we did discuss that.
Okay.
last night.
Everybody talking about next. Anything else?
Is there anybody for open discussion?
We didn't get
Yep,
any
we-
other
she was
questions. Any other questions before we move? Okay, open discussion. Mr. Hefner.
No, it looks like Seal was first.
Oh, I guess, I'm sorry.
Hi, Seal Todd, 110 Althea Lane, Morton, PA. I just have a couple mentions about the fire company. On Saturday, there's a coffee station is doing a fundraiser. Go to the coffee station on Saturday because some of their proceeds are going to be donated to the fire company, so we would appreciate your support. Secondly, fire company is so excited about Touch a Truck because we like you to touch our trucks and I get to clean them sometimes. So come out and touch a truck. Amanda's gonna have a lot of people out there and a lot of trucks and you'll have a DJ as well.
Yes.
So put your list together.
Love it.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with you, Mr. Wills. We had a solicitor here for several years that just sat there and whispered information back and forth. And I'm happy to see that you're taking a proactive role, not only in recommending increases in violation money, but also stepping right into being a solicitor and helping our council do what they need to do to serve the people. So thank you so much. That's nice to see. I just have one other thing to say. I could not be more impressed by the proactive actions that this council has taken in hiring a firm to do borough management. People will be accountable, people will be educated, people will know what they need to do, and the public will know what's going on as well. I just want to be sure, you mentioned earlier, Mrs. Dickerson, that you're still finding problems, errors, communications that don't make sense, unsubordinated expenses. You're still finding all that stuff. I'm assuming that this new firm's gonna come in and do the same thing. How will those situations be handled? Will they be addressed instead of just moving forward? Because the people that were here before needed to be accountable.
It will be addressed. Yeah, thank you. Mr. Hefner.
Bill Hoffner at various properties here in Morton. I have a question, it's more for the Finance Committee meeting tomorrow. In regards to that, I noticed through some of my requests for information from the borough, the right to know, that at the beginning of this year, there was about $500,000 in past due sewer fees from 2018 to 2023. And then I was told that this stuff is being turned over to Fortnoff, which some of it was, because I don't understand that apparently we turned over 250,000 to Fortnoff, not the 500. And I'm trying to ask for an answer tomorrow to explain what the difference is and why there is a difference.
So Mr. Hefner, you kind of misspoke. We didn't say $500,000 was turned over to Morton. What we said was $500,000 was collected from the borough. Actually, Anne Marie was the culprit of that. We collected $500,000. We did not say $500,000 was turned over to Morton.
Well, the reason why I'm asking that question is, according to the right to know, there was 500,000 in arrears for the sewer, from that time. I sent everybody a copy of that right to know request, the answer I received back. And then I also have another one showing that Fortnoff has 250. And again, we'll go over that tomorrow when I'm here.
Yeah.
To give you time to do research, whether you have to look at, what was due in January, February, March of each year, or just do it by year as to what was owed and what was turned over to Fortnoff. That would be a good accounting. I'm just concerned because the sewer fund is a pass-through to the residents. And if we don't collect the money, that means they're going to be paying more money in sewer fees, which I don't think is fair because of the deadbeats out there.
Shelley,
Thank
you have
you.
a comment?
Yeah.
I was gonna say if Shelley had a comment because it just seems like some of what you're saying is kind of mismatched from what we actually reported.
I'll bring the paperwork.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other thing is, Mr. Hefner, you gotta understand with the changes every day and the money that's being collected, it changes. the money that has been collected has been phenomenal. You gotta remember, we started with that 218 and took it up to 23. The work that has been in this borough, that they did in collecting all that money on cash hand and put it in the bank, we can't top that. It was never done before. And I again want to say thank you to the staff here who really did that. And still is collecting. We got payment plans worked out, people are coming and doing, and you yourself know you had to come in here. So there's things that had to be taken care of. We understood that, and we understand it changed daily with the amounts that's coming in. We also need to understand too, and we're gonna say it tomorrow night, you were given privilege to things you weren't allowed to get understanding, knowing the QuickBooks, doing the budget. That was not supposed to be done. Again, we talked about accountability. We're here, this new council, and I thank everybody who worked with us, that we're changing, saying, look, we're stepping up to the bat, we're changing it, we're moving forward. So that's what we're doing.
Well,
Thank you. And we're talking about tomorrow.
500,000, that could be current fees too, because of the new stuff.
Yeah.
No, we have a difference.
Yeah, we'll be able to show everything.
Paperwork and
Yeah,
explain
well,
everything.
that's the thing, you have
In 3
things
minutes.
that you, like you said, that you knew that you weren't supposed to know, and that's what you're going off of, and even that was wrong.
But I'm a taxpayer. This is my money.
No,
This
that's
is
not
his
what
money. This is
Yeah, but that's
everybody's
not what we're
money.
taking away
And I'd
from
like
you.
to know where the money is
Right.
coming in and
And
where.
we're giving it
That's
to you.
right,
We
and
have
that's
a
not
right
what,
to
we're
know
not
this.
taking that away from you.
We're just
We're not taking that away
It's
from
like
you.
I'm not seeing any of the information. I have to do right to know requests
Right.
to find out what's
Right,
going
you
on.
should be doing the right to know, because the thing is, you
Doctor,
knew
But
things that you didn't
The final
know
one I
before.
did, I had a schedule showing, what was the starting amount, what went to Fort Knox, what we collected, and all I got was 2 numbers. I'll send that over to you tomorrow in the
That's good.
email again.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Ms. Hilly, correct?
Question.
We have an ordinance pertaining to the care of your lawn, right, and how you cut it, and then after you cut it, there's a, noticeably as I take a walk, there's a lot of debris building up from, but let me tell you, when that gets to the stormwater, that causes hell, okay? And when it blocks up those, drains, so, we're talking some significant accumulation.
There is an ordinance, Charlie, that prohibits the blowing of grass in the public streets, because once we have a rainstorm like we just had this evening, all that grass and debris ends up in the stormwater. So,
One other question. I noticed a couple lawns that, I guess, 7, 8 inches high. Is that, I remember when I first moved in, I didn't get to know. So I had
the prohibition, Charlie, is either 6 or 8, I'm not sure, and again, I'm just coming back on. With most municipalities in Delaware County, it's either 6 or 8 inches, so I'm not sure off the top of my head what is the size prohibition for
I'm not
grass.
saying they should be cited, I'm just saying that there's a reading matter that says, look, it's better to keep your lawn real long because, you less, CO2 coming off and on and on and on. If that's the case, then maybe they can put their lawnmowers up to 7 inches, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, on a serious note, and the lawns don't look that great either. That accumulation in the gutter there is really getting out of hand.
Well,
Thanks a lot.
Like I said, a lot of that
I know
also
you
would
did.
take consideration, I think, our public works.
Yeah.
They normally go down and should be checking those things. Right.
That's good.
Yeah. But he's talking about code
Yeah,
in
he's talking
regards
about
to,
code.
to grass.
Right.
Yeah,
It was
but,
grass.
but once again, and I'm gonna say this, people that cut grass, that have the lawn service, they do it early morning. Our code guy's not out looking for that. So
Well,
they're blowing the grass in this, because they're blowing. They gotta blow and keep moving.
But that's something we might want to think about having them come.
Well, then,
Yeah.
give a notice to the homeowner.
Yes.
They're welcome to come to my house every Wednesday morning, from the church next door, and my neighbor across the street has tons of lawnmowers.
Do you see your grass?
Thank you, everybody. Okay, there's no.
No.
Okay, if there's no other questions or concerns from the council, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
You can have that, yeah, that's it. You don't need it.
Yes.
Well,
Listen, you're gonna get another check return. Because what happens is, when you get a check made out, even now, a live check, I have to put it in the Fulton Bank, and I have to put exactly what's on the check. If I put Walter J. Stubbs, and the check says Walter Stubbs, it'll return. So twice that's happened. I had to call them today and go,